Good afternoon, everyone. My name is David Willott. I'm a tax partner at Thornton and here just to share a few comments and reflections on yesterday's budget. There's no getting away from the fact that some of the numbers the Chancellor announced in terms of the level of debt and the drop in GDP are pretty significant and pretty alarming. But in spite of that, I think my overall takeaway from the budget was it was relatively positive. The extensions to the COVID-19 support, very important. They're going to remove a lot of uncertainty for businesses, and actually removing that cliff edge of the support finishing, in the next couple of months is really helpful. Both the self-employed scheme and the job retention scheme, extending that through the end of the restriction period to sort of that September timeframe, as well as the reductions in VAT, the extension of the business rate relief, and the stamp duty land tax threshold increase, all really positive changes to keep the economic recovery going in the short term as we then move into that longer recovery period. The measures that were announced to really kickstart that longer term recovery, the super deduction for capital expenditure, that's a really incredibly generous scheme, effectively government paying 25 pence in the pound for all capital expenditure that businesses are going to be making in the next couple of years. And the extension of loss relief is going to really free up a lot of cash for businesses who are having a really tough time at the moment, but have been significantly profitable in the past. And getting that cash refund will be, really great extension of the current loss relief rules. I mean, it was evident from the speech, the debt is significant. It does need to be paid down, and the tax rises are coming through that enhanced corporation tax rate in a couple of years from April 2023. And that's no surprise. It was fully expected that the rate would go up in the budget, and actually having that 2-year run in before the rate does increase is really helpful to let businesses plan. The interesting point there that really knowledge intensive businesses with patented technology should still be able to benefit from the 10% patent box rate. So a lot of opportunity in looking at intellectual property holdings and minimizing the impact of that higher 25% rate. The interesting point as well is that Mr. Sunak managed to stick to the manifesto pledge not to raise income tax, VAT, or national insurance rates. Obviously, the freeze in the personal tax thresholds will generate quite significant tax collection from sort of April 25, 26, but that manifesto pledge is maintained, and that really lends itself to say, well, what wasn't said? That will the CT and the income tax freezing be enough to really settle the debt that's been generated, or are we going to expect more tax rises in the coming years? And I think it was quite interesting how nothing was said around capital gains tax. And there's been the expectation in the industry for a period that there would be equalised to income tax rates, and certainly was a recommendation from the Office of Budget Responsibility. And I think that's something to keep an eye on. There's a tax day on the 23rd of March where a number of consultations are going to be released. So I think there will be further changes in and around that area to keep an eye on. And consultations, I think, are going to be kind of the key over the next year or so. There were 2 launched yesterday as part of the budget on EMI and on R&D. Now, both of these are incredibly generous tax incentives, and we work with a number of our clients to support them in introducing EMI schemes and making R&D tax relief claims. So it's really an area where we're going to be contributing to the consultation and making sure that we really represent our clients and the voices where it comes to these 2 incredibly generous tax reliefs. So that's my very brief canter through my reflections on the budget. As I say, there was a bit of sugar in the short term, but a bit of pill to come in the next few years, but actually not unexpected. We've got a lot of insights and detail on our website, so please do visit the Thornton website, and we'll be able to give you more details. Thank you.